Hello, how you doing? Mike Bradley here, hope you're good and well as always. So, I'm going to go and do something which I've never done before. I'm going to go to Christie's auction house. And the reason I'm going to go is because Jeff Beck's guitars are going to be up for auction. His wife, Sandra, has decided to kind of let them go. And I can understand that, actually. But as someone who is... I think like us all, big Jeff Beck fans, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go and have a peek. Never done it before, never gone to a kind of look at an auction, no, especially like Christie's, never done that. I was too young when Clapton did his first one in, was it 99? So yeah, join me, let's go and see Jeff Beck's guitars. So here we are. So here we got the Fender Custom Shop reproduction of his Esquire, what he used in the Yardbirds. I wasn't as gooey over that, as I knew that was just a custom shop remake, sorry. But this is pretty cool. This is, I remember seeing this, a guy, one of the early people I started teaching guitar actually. He lent me a video of the Arms concert from about 1983 with Clapton, Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck, and he used that guitar there, so that was pretty cool to see that up close. Now this is the guitar for me. I have lusted after this guitar for years. Jeff often called this a 53, but apparently it's a 1957 Telecaster, but just look at it. I was staring at this for ages. Did not want to leave. I just think it's one of the coolest tellies out there. I just love that white Telecaster black guard, and obviously, you know, that's been played. I think he's had this since about 1983, I think. Very, very early 80s. There you go, nice little shot for you. Now this, I believe, was given to him by John McLaughlin, if I'm saying his name correctly. I believe John gave it to him. Now this is the Yardbirds Les Paul, and I kind of took for granted that this was a 50, well certainly the body, I think the neck is 70s, but I took for granted that this is a 1959 Les Paul in front of me. This was his last main Strat, the one with the left, you're going to see it in a second, the lefty neck, but the last kind of 5-6 years of his life was his main guitar. Now this is a very, very cool Strat in itself, a 1954 Stratocaster, and this was given to him by Steve Marriott. I did end up having a little feel in the neck. It actually felt really nice, actually. Such a cool looking Strat. And you can see early pictures from the 80s where it doesn't look as knackered as that. It was still a little bit beat, but yeah, check it out on Google. Now this guitar means so much to see for me. I'll talk about it later in the video, but yeah, I love seeing this guitar up close. See the Jimi Hendrix influence there. Very cool. Now this was his #2 Strat, and I love that. Obviously something got sticky on it and he put it in the case and that got stuck to it. I just love seeing that. But I think, yeah, this was apparently his #2 Strat. Sorry for the camera there. I'm back. This looked really nice up close actually, this Les Paul. Unfortunately the camera doesn't quite pick it up, but it's obviously a Murphy Lab Gibson Les Paul there. Johnny Depp's signature guitar. He's got the other one with the trem on it, but they were very, very good friends. They were. Some of Jeff Bass's. Very cool looking bass guitars there. That one looks like it was more well favoured. It had a few more dings in it. This was quite cool to see, as I remember like interview in Guitarist magazine, they said he turned up for the interview in an old beat up red gig bag, and I thought, that's it. That looks like it's been through the wars. How cool. Now, all those guitars, which you'll see a better shot of in a minute. Great quote. Now, I had no idea that Ibanez were doing prototypes in the late 70s for a Jeff Beck signature guitar. And you can see it's very 70s and the Les Paul Strat influence going on there. But just looking at them, you can see they weigh a ton. Just even looking at them, I thought, I bet they're blimmin' heavy, which I can imagine he wanted to get away from, as the Oxblood Les Paul was known to be quite a heavy one. But this seemed to be well favoured, again dinged up, so he obviously played this one quite a bit. Jeff Beck inlay there. Don't know how he would have got to the 24th fret though, not the greatest access there. Very, very cool to see his pedal boards. And of course the Telegib, the Oxblood Les Paul, and his main Strat for years and years and years. What a great Tele look. Oh, it looks great. And 'Cause You Ended as Lovers was recorded with this guitar, famously. I bet Dan from the Gig Rig is loving that. Some gig rig stuff there. Oh, look at it. Pure, so filthy, that is beautiful. Now, he has got that MXR Super Badass on a couple of his pedal boards, I see, so I think I might have to get this, but I just love this pedal board. It's messy, it's not Instagram pristine, it's great. Another shot there of the Telegib for you. He's got a clon. He had a few actually, I believe. I remember those snarling wires from the 90s, and this is his main Strat from kind of late 90s to I think 2015, I believe. 2014, 2015. Beck tone, love that. Those magnetone amps in the back there. That video's on Amazon Prime if you're interested, from Tokyo. Oh, look at it. So cool to see that Strat up close like that. This was a really lovely room. And some cool artwork there. I thought Johnny Depp did this, but he didn't. I can't remember who did it now, but and it's worth checking out that album 18 that Jeff and Johnny Depp did. It's actually not bad, and that's Johnny Depp singing that baby baby, that high falsetto stuff. That's from the tribute gig they did at the Royal Albert Hall. They all signed it. Everyone from Billy Gibbons, Clapton, Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood. Yeah, they're all there. There's Ronnie Wood's signature, looks like. Now this is cool to see because I have this amp. It's right behind me right now, and I don't have these settings what he used, but I thought I'd get a close up there. I might have to nick them myself and see what they sound like. That's the spare. The top one was his main one, but I know he did completely take off that bass. Another snarling dog's wile. He certainly has some Marshall amps, isn't he? Now this Strat, I believe, was heavily used on Guitar Shop. I think it's a 1960, if my memory serves me right. Seen lots of pictures of him with this guitar. That was cool to see. And of course the Tina Turner Jackson, which actually in person looked a lot more beat up than what I imagined it would be. It always looked quite clean in pictures. But yeah, you can certainly see he played it a lot. The neck, there you go, I had to have a little touch. It wasn't too thin actually, quite a good size. Now these are quite cool. Apparently he always took a bunch of necks on tour with him and would always be swapping necks on guitars all the time just to see which works best on a guitar.
17.
And I believe this 70s one was on the stripped Strat that he had from the late 60s to the mid 70s, which I think he gave away. Another clon. I mean, they've got their $2 to $3 grand. I reckon it'd go a lot more than that. The back of his main Strat. I've gone back in that room again. Bit more of a close up on these amps here. Get some settings. Again, don't know if they're what he last used or not, but try them out. Now, I remember in the rock and roll party DVD, he used this guitar, or maybe the other one. I remember it's a Gretsch with a Bigsby, so. But either way, you can see he played it a lot. Yeah, I'd have a little touch. And this, I believe, is the backup to the other lefty neck Strat. 2017, 2019. They're both made of, so I'm guessing a 2017 body and a 2019 neck, or the other way round. Again, few little dings here and there, you know. He played his guitars, man. He really played them. And that's the other Gretsch. Wow. That was something. That was something. Let me get back in the car and have a chat with you. So unfortunately the light is not the greatest, but I'm sure I will finish this off properly in my studio when I get home at some point. But I just thought I'd give you my thoughts, kind of as I've left, and just got back in the car back here. But first of all, I've never been to anything like that before. I've never gone to an auction like I was mentioning earlier at Christie's, and it was amazing that it was all, you could touch everything, you know. I mean, there's a respect there though. You know, people want pouring over everything, but you know, I couldn't resist. I had to put my hand on a couple of the necks. I mean, for me, the star of the show for me is the Telecaster, that early 50s telly, the white telly with the black guard. I remember getting the not Hail Rock and Roll, that's Chuck Berry, the rock and roll party he did for Les Paul. What's that, 2009? And on that, it's got, on the DVD, it had like the extras, and it's Jeff showing his guitar collection. And he talks about that Telecaster there. I think he even says it's like one of his favourite guitars. And he played it a lot in the 80s. And even though I'm a Strat player and you think Jeff Beck Strat, for me, that white telly is just like, oh man, you know. And then of course you got the Oxblood Les Paul and his main Strat, Anushka, I think, Ravi Shankar's daughter, I believe, signed it originally. But you know, to see those guitars up close, which, you know, you'd seen in pictures, videos. I mean, I remember very, very early 2000s, very early, and on BBC 4, I think it was, and he's playing that big, it's not an L5, it's the Scotty Moore influence. I'll put something up now, I can't think of the actual model. But seeing that, you know, it's just like, oh wow, you know. And then you got the one what Small Faces singer, he gave it to, again, sorry, my brains are over the shop, but I'll put it up here. He gave him that 54 Strat. I think it's a 54 Strat or a 54 body with a 56 neck. But to see that, you know, and the Gretsch, and there's the, I remember the Strat he used that when Clapton, Page and Beck obviously got together at the Arms concert in, I think, like 83, like seeing that, it was just, you know, and his pedal board and and the Tina Turner Jackson, you know, all that. And what's amazing is that he played the hell out of his guitars. You know, it's not like, you know, insert famous guitar player and they've got their main Strat, and then the other ones, you know, they look pristine all the time. Like, so many of those guitars were dinged up and being played. You know, he loved playing guitar, and he played the guitar, you know, like, I'd seen pictures of that Jackson, the pink Tina Turner engraved one, and I always thought it was clean, but you see it up close and it's pretty battered, and they're all dirty as hell, which I love. I mean, that favourite telly I was saying, there's quite a few, like, there's dust upon dust with rust and then dust, you know what I mean? It's like, he really was the guitar player's guitar. He was like us. He was like us. And yeah, there was times I got, I was gonna say emotional, but it was just like, shit, you know, he's gone. and these were his guitars, you know. There's a couple missing though. I think his wife must have thought, I want to keep these. The one what he used at Ronnie Scott's, I don't think was there. It's the kind of a more of a creamish yellowy white, and it's got a certain ding in a specific place. I'll see if I can find some pictures of, because I've got him in magazines holding it, and that wasn't there. Editor Mike here. Slight little mistake there. So what I was saying about the Ronnie Scott's Strat he used, that kind of yellowy cream Strat, what he used from like 1999 to the kind of mid 2000s. That main white Strat is still that cream Strat. He had it repainted. Since going to the viewing, I have geeked out quite a lot. And I found out that I think in 2010, after the Eric Clapton tour, he had it resprayed white by Charlie Chandler. And you can still see the dings underneath it as well. And then it just got beat up even more. So, yeah, the Ronnie Scott Strat, that cream Strat, which you saw him play, like I say, from 99 to kind of mid 2000s onwards, is that main white Strat. And I wish I kind of knew that more at the time, because I probably would have been Googling even more at that white Strat. But, I mean, I was anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, back to Carmike. And the surf green Strat he used in very early 90s with the gold lace sensors, that wasn't there. There was a green Strat, but it wasn't, I don't think it was that one. And something I've never said before, but the first Strat I ever played, I was 13 years old at the National Music Show, or something it was called. It was held at Wembley Exhibition Centre. And the first Strat I played when I was 13 was a Jeff Beck signature Strat. And I remember just loving it. You know, I mean, I was in awe, because I was like, it's a Fender Strat and it's Jeff Beck. And, you know, I grew up near Jeff Beck. So you got Jeff Beck was Wallington, and then you got Jimmy Page was Epsom, which is about 20-minute drive away. And then I was born in Kingston upon Thames, but grew up in Worcester Park, which is 10-15 minutes away from Epsom and 15 minutes away from Wallington. And then Clapton was Ripley. But, you know, growing up and starting to play guitar in the 90s, I was the oddball. I was this weird guy at school, and I got picked on. Of course, I was different, so of course you can get picked on, you know. But knowing that I was in the same area, I live in the same area that those guys came from, always meant so much to me. A hell of a lot to me, you know. I'd still, somewhere, I think at my dad's, I got this little, like, it was from a Fender Frontline magazine, like a little small poster of Jeff Beck, and he's got the green, it's black and white, but he's got his arm up. He's got his famous Little Richard, the green Strat he had. And, you know, I was just like, they're from my way. Jeff Beck, you know, I had guitar lessons in Carl Shorten, which is like 5-10 minutes away from Wallington, you know, from where he grew up and that. And I used to live 10 minutes away from Jimmy Page's house at one point, you know. So to be, you know, the weird kid at school and strangely playing guitar in the mid-90s in the UK at 12 years old, and, you know, when it was not cool to play guitar then, certainly at my school, it was all house and garage and drum and bass and stuff like that. And to know that those guys, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton, was from my area, I was like, well, if they can do it. There's that kind of thing. But it's just a warmness there, you know. And like, I know exactly where Jeff Beck is buried and where his funeral, I don't know if he's buried or cremated, sorry, but I know where his funeral was held because I've driven past that church so many times. My friend got married there. I went there for his wedding, you know. So it's like, you know, we're saying that I'm in Morden right now. Wallington is not far from here. So, yeah, it's, sorry if I'm waffling, but it really hit me that he's gone. I know that sounds, he's passed away literally pretty much 2 years. It was 2 years ago last week he passed away. But it really meant so much to see those guitars. It really did. So I'm probably waffling. I may add to this, I may not, I don't know. But if I'm going to get this up probably for me next week. So if you get a chance, do go and check out the auction, or certainly the viewing, because it's just, you know, if you're a serious nutter like me on music and guitars, like, it's a serious thing to see those guitars. It was, yeah, I'm so glad I did it. So glad I kind of trekked up there. And again, I mean, also his Strat, seeing the trem, obviously, again, you see it in pictures, but to see his guitars up close and you can see how he had the trem, you know, jacked up, and yeah, it was amazing. Anyway, I'm waffling. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you soon. Right, Brady signing out.